to start. So we'll commence with it. So we have here, the questions from the plant kingdom. So we have studied in the syllabus part of it, like, so what are the things that we have studied? We have studied algae, chlorophyceae, pheophyceae, rhodophyceae. Then we have also studied about bryophytes. Okay. Then we have also studied the pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. So we have studied on all this aspect of it. So in our previous classes, isn't it? Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. So we'll begin with the first question. So which of the following is included in five kingdom classification? So the choices are, you can just tell me the answer also. Monera, Protista, Animalia, Plantae, Algae.
Option A.
Monera, yes, because all the five kingdoms are present in this option A. Whereas in the second one also there is Monera, Protesta. See, second one is the correct one because they have included, instead of fungi, A, they have included algae. So Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia is the right option. So first one, which of the following is included in five kingdom classification? B is the answer. Who is called the father of taxonomy among the following? So Linnaeus, Aristotle, Maheshwari, Sahani, or who is called as father of taxonomy among this? The
Option A.
Linnaeus is called as father of taxonomy. Aristotle is father of zoology, father of biology. Maheshwari is father of plant embryology. The embryology of angiosperms is considered to be the P. Maheshwari, Panchanan Maheshwari. So he's a male, not female. So he's the father of Indian plant embryology. Okay, Birbal Sahani is the father of paleobotany, the study of fossils of plant remnants of past. So he is the father of paleobotany. Okay, so next one is Elophiles is also called as Eubacteria, Actinomycetes, Cyanobacteria, Archaebacteria. What are Elophiles also called as? So Elophiles are also called as Archaebacteria. Okay. Next one, according to Robert Whittaker's classification, prokaryotes are placed in Monera, Plantae, Protista, Animalia. Which is the answer? Which is the answer for it? So Robert Whittaker's five kingdom classification, prokaryotes are placed in which kingdom? Is it in Monera, Plantae, Protista, or Animalia? So you should switch on your mic and answer because I'm on. Uh, so you should be switching on your mic and answering it up. So what is the answer for it? So A is the answer, kingdom Monera. They include the prokaryotic organisms like blue-green algae. They include the prokaryotic organisms like bacteria, mycoplasma. They are all placed under kingdom Monera. So the only kingdom which has prokaryotic organism is kingdom Monera. So the answer is kingdom Monera. Example of blue-green algae is in fungi, Monera, Protista, Plantae.
Monera.
So yes, blue-green algae is in Monera. Can you tell me what are the other names of blue-green algae? So they also call it as cyanobacteria. They also call it as mixophyceae. They also call it as pheophyceae. They are all the other name of blue-green algae. So blue-green algae, they are also called as cyanobacteria. That is the recent name for blue-green algae. The old name for blue-green algae was, it was called as cyanophyceae or mixophyceae. Okay. See, by how many criteria living organisms have been classified into five kingdoms? So is it two criterions, four, five, or three? So five kingdom classification, how many criteria, total number of criteria they are asking about? Is it two, four, five, or three? So what is the answer for it? So sixth one, the answer is B. So that is, so majorly four criteria they have been utilized for classification of the five kingdoms. Sixth one is B. So B4. In which of the following kingdoms bacteria and blue-green algae are included? Again, this is an easy question. You should be able to answer. Which kingdom?
Monera.
Monera.
Monera is the answer. Prokaryotes are included in the kingdom. This is again a repetition. So which is that kingdom? Prokaryotes are included in the
Monera.
kingdom? Monera. Which one of the following is also called halophiles? So we had the question above. So the same question, archaebacteria. So ninth one, halophiles are also called as archaebacteria. So ninth is D. 10th one, match the following. Archaea. So what type of cell wall they have? They have given the column A. So you have to match with the column B. So column B, they are having cell wall is made up of either cellulose or fungal cellulose. Cell wall does not contain peptidoglycan. Eukaryote cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. So they have given this options. So the correct options among the 10th one is P is second one. Archaea cell wall does not contain peptidoglycan. Q bacteria. So Q is 3. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Then R, eukarya, is the cell wall is made up of either cellulose or fungal cellulose. That is eukaryotes. So the cell wall is made up of either cellulose or fungal cellulose is nothing but chitin. So eukarya is one. So D is the answer. D, this choice is the answer. Bacteria, they have cell wall made up of peptidoglycan. Archaea, they do not have a cell wall made up of peptidoglycan. Eukarya, they have a cell wall made up of either cellulose or fungal cellulose. So that is the answer for the 10th one. 11th, viroids were discovered by Diner, Woos, Pasteur, Iyengar. Who discovered the viroids? So this is a general knowledge question. So it is not there in your syllabus. Such questions might be asked from outside of syllabus. You should be prepared for that. The number of such questions throughout the question paper, it might be 5 or 6, but you do get such questions and you should be prepared for that. So viroids were discovered by Diner. So the viroids were discovered by Diner. Viroids consist of DNA, RNA, protein, none of the above. So what are the viroids made up of? Anyone remembers it? What is the viroid? Is infectious genetic material. Potato spindle tuber viroid. It causes potato spindle tuber disease. So what is the genetic material?
RNA.
Very good. It is RNA. B is the answer. Viroid consists of RNA. Which of the following disease is caused by viroid? Polio, diphtheria, Alzheimer's, typhoid. Rather, it should not be viroid, it should be virus. Okay, it is not viroid, it should be virus. Which of the following diseases is caused by virus? See, diphtheria, Alzheimer's, and typhoid, they are not viral disease. Polio is a viral disease. See, the spelling mistake is here. It is caused by virus, it should be. Viroid causes potato spindle tuber viroid. Okay. The name virus was given by who coined the term virus? So the 14th one, the answer is B. Pasteur gave the name virus. Okay, so which of the following disease is caused by viroid? So let me just check Alzheimer's once. See, Alzheimer's disease is also caused by viroids. So it is not the viroid Alzheimer's disease. See, this is again general knowledge part of it. So Alzheimer's disease is also caused by viroid. So C is the answer for 13. It is not polio. Viroid, it causes Alzheimer's disease. The name virus was given by Pasteur. Okay. So for the first time, it was discovered by Ivanovsky, but the name virus was given by Pasteur. So virus have 15th one, DNA core, lipid core, DNA or RNA core, protein core, DNA or RNA core, plasma membrane, DNA containing nucleus, lipid envelope. Which is the right answer? Which is the right answer?
B.
Yes, they either have DNA or RNA and they have this protein core. Okay. 16th one, a virus contains DNA, RNA, DNA or RNA, DNA and RNA. What is the answer for this?
Option C.
Very good.
Option
The
D.
option C, they have no option C. Either they have DNA or RNA, but not both. So that we have discussed between differences between virus, living and non-living components of virus. They would have told that it can be either DNA or RNA, the virus genetic material, but not both. Okay. TMV. What is TMV? What
Tobacco
is
Tobacco
must.
TMV?
virus.
Yes, tobacco mosaic virus was discovered by who discovered this?
Option C.
Anyone of you? Yes, Ivanovsky. Dmitry Ivanovsky, for the first time, he discovered this tobacco mosaic virus in the tobacco plant. Okay. The main structural component of viruses: nucleic acid, protein, nucleic acid and protein, nucleic acid or protein. What is the main structural component of virus? It is nucleoproteinaceous. Don't we say that? So you should remember that the main structural component of virus is nucleic acid and protein. So nucleic acid and protein. So the first existing group of plant is, so which is the first existing group of plant? Fungi, algae, lichens, pteridophytes. Among this, the first existing group of plant is
Option D, pteridophyte.
hmm? Option. See
B.
this algae. B. Algae is the first existing group of plants. Okay. Lichens is a symbiotic association between algae and fungi, but algae is much more earlier. The first existing group of plant is algae. So next one is match the following. So you get such type of questions also even in your examination. Chlamydomonas, it is unicellular, isn't it? So P is 2. So there are two options with P is 2, that is B and D. Q, Volvox, colonial form. Q1. See, D is the answer. With two option itself, I can find it out. Chlamydomonas is unicellular. Volvox is colonial forms. Eulothrix, that is R is three filamentous forms. Nostoc, it belongs to cyanophytes. Yes, 4. So D is the answer for 20. What is the study of algae called as? What is the study of algae called as? Mycology, algology, taxonomy, lichenology. Okay, so the study of algae is called as algology. So it should be another word should be used, phycology. Okay, Phycology. But here they have used the term algology. So 21st, the answer is B, algology, but that is not the correct term. So the most frequently used term, maybe they might use it, but the most frequently used term is the word phycology, Phycology. So phycology. So the term phycology, it is called as. Okay, that is the standard term for the study of algae is called as phycology, but they have also used the word algology. It is not wrong. Mycology is study of fungi. Taxonomy is study of classification, identification, classification, and nomenclature. Lichenology, study of lichens. Okay. So algology is the answer for that. 22nd, unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms comprise. What do they comprise of? Unicellular eukaryotic microorganism. What are they made up of? So where are they belonging to? Is it in fungi, monera, plants, or in protista? The answer is protista. They are eukaryotes, unicellular eukaryotic microorganism. They belong to protista. So protista is the answer. Next one, protista include. What are all the things that are included in protista? See,
Protist.
protista includes, so you have to find out the examples here. There is paramecium, euglena, dinoflagellates. Hydride belongs to coelenterata, so you can't have hydra. Amoeba belongs to amoeba and paramecium, they are protists. Yeast belongs to fungi. Mushroom is also fungi. The answer is paramecium, euglena, and dinoflagellates. They all belong to protista. So protista includes paramecium, euglena, and dinoflagellates. So this is the answer. So the study of fungi is called as. What do you call the study of fungi as? I just now told you. Mycology. They are derived from the word mycelium. Mycelium is a network of hyphae, isn't it? Hyphae is the microscopic filamentous form of the fungi. So the network of hyphae, we call it as mycelium. So the word mycology is derived from mycelium. So the study of fungi is mycology. So kingdom fungi is also called as mycota. Fungi or mycota. Fungus cell wall is made up of. Is it made up of cellulose, protein, chitin, or carbohydrates? What is it made up of? Very important character on the basis of which fungi is placed separately. They are placed under a separate group, kingdom, because of this attribute. What is that? See,
Chitin.
fungus, very good. Chitin. So fungus cell wall is made up of chitin. Even arthropoda, their exoskeleton is made up of chitin. So you have to remember about this aspect of it. So in fungi, 26, in fungi, the reserve food materials are. What are the reserve food materials in case of fungi? Again, this is a unique attribute only to fungi because of which they have separated it from plantae. So in fungi, the reserve food material is glycogen and lipid droplets. Okay, the reserve food material are glycogen and lipid droplets. See, the reserve food material in plant cell is starch. The reserve food material in case of animal cell is glycogen. Okay, so even though fungi has a cell wall similar to plants, it is made up of chitin. So even though they have cell wall, their reserve food material is glycogen. So they have both attributes of plants and animal, and they have unique nature because of which fungi was placed under a separate kingdom, fungi or mycota. Okay, or otherwise they would have included it under plants. But just like animals, even the fungi has a reserve food material as glycogen. Okay, so this is the unique attribute. Cell wall made up of chitin, reserve food material in the form of glycogen. So these are unique attributes of fungi. So because of which you can't neither place them under plants nor under animals. So they have placed them under a separate kingdom, kingdom fungi, fungia or mycota. So match the following. So A and B, you have to match that. Yeast is unicellular, P3. I think two options are there with P3, C and D. Mucor, agaricus, I know is a mushroom, scientific name of actual. So R2. So C is the answer. P3, Q1, bread mold is mucor and agaricus is a mushroom. Agaricus bisporus, the button mushroom. So the scientific name is agaricus bisporus. So here the right answer is C. So yeast is a unicellular, mucor is commonly called as bread mold, agaricus bisporus is the button mushroom or mushroom, the common name. So remember about this answer part of it. Study of lichens is called as lichenology. So it is easy, isn't it? Study of lichens is called as lichenology. What is cytology? The branch of biology which deals with the study of cell and their organelles, cell organelles, we call it as cytology. Okay, so cell biology or cytology. Lichens were first discovered by, again, this is a out of syllabus question. Okay, it's general knowledge one. So if you are aware about that, well and good. So the lichens were first discovered by Tulsane. Okay, so this O.P. Iyengar is father of Indian algology, study of Indian algae. So Tulsane was the first person to discover lichens. See, Shivram Kashyap is father of Indian bryophytes, study of father of Indian bryophytes, Shivram Kashyap. Okay, so Tulsane is the lichens were first discovered by Tulsane. So Pasteur, he gave the name virus. He is also father of microbiology. Pasteur, he has done a lot of work on the microorganisms. So he is called as father of uh, microbiology, Pasteur. In lichens, algal component is known as, what is it known as? Mycobiont, that is fungal component. Phycobiont is the right answer. So in lichens, algal component is known as phycobiont, study of algae phycology. I told you about that. So algal component is known as phycobiont. So 30th B is the answer. So in lichens, fungal component is known as, what is the fungal component known as? Mycobiont. Study of fungi is mycology. So it is mycobiont. The plant cell without chloroplast is. You should have to tell me what is the plant cell without chloroplast. Is it algae, fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes? Which is the plant cell without chloroplast?
Fungi.
Yeah, but it should not be called as plant cell. I don't know why they have included fungi under this. So the 32nd, the answer is B, fungi. See, fungi is not plants at all. So they could have said it as the cell having cell wall without chloroplasts, then you could have said it as fungi. Okay. So the plant cell, because they have separated now, fungi is placed under a separate kingdom, fungi. So the question itself is ambiguous. It is not well framed. Anyway, the answer is fungi. So the organism which has a cell wall without chloroplast is fungi. That would be the right question. The shape of fruiting body of lichens is apothecium flash shape, perithecium cup shape, perithecium flash shape, apothecium disc shape. So again, this is general knowledge part of it. This is not a part of your NCERT syllabus. So shape of fruiting body of lichens, since they have this fungi, so they do have the fruiting body So this question number is 33. The answer for 33rd question is, so the perithecium flash shaped is the fruiting body of lichens. Perithecium, which is flash shaped. Okay. On the basis of external form, lichens are crustose, foliose, fruticose. All of the three. All of the three is the answer. External form, lichens are crustose. You cannot peel them off. They just look like a paint droplet on boulders or on trees. You cannot peel them. Folios, you can peel them off. They use it as kalvuva in your masale, that is the palau masale, you get this kalvuva. That is the foliose lichens. Okay. Then fruticose, they produce the fruiting body. So all these three types of them, they are based on external form. Lichens are of three types: crustose, foliose, and fruticose type. So all of the three are correct answer. Again, this is an out of syllabus question. So you might expect such sort of questions might also turn up. So fruiting body is characteristic of algae, lichens, bryophytes, pteridophytes. So just now we discussed the fruiting body of lichens, isn't it? So the answer is lichens. So
Lichens.
35th, the answer is B, lichens. Okay, so this is the answer, B, lichens. Symbiotic relationship is found in algae, fungi, bryophytes, lichens.
Lichens.
Symbiotic relationship is both of them get benefited from each other. The mycobiont and phycobiont, that is algae and fungi, they both get benefited from each other. So they so much benefit that they are having. You cannot see them in separate parts. So the algae and fungi, they exist together as lichens. So this is a very good example for symbiotic relationship is found in lichens. So 36D is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer. Plants of this group possess naked seed. So which of them possess the naked seed?
Gymnosperms.
Very good. So
Gymno-
gymnosperms possess naked seed. So the father of Indian bryology is, I just now I told you about father of Indian bryology. Shivram Kashyap is the father of Indian bryology. So the father of Indian bryology is Shivram Kashyap. So Rothmeller has divided the bryophytes into three classes, four classes, five classes, six classes. So what has Rothmeller has divided the bryophytes into? So what is the classification that you have? So he has divided bryophytes into three classes. Even when I was discussing bryophytes, I told you about that. So the first class is Hepaticopsida or liverworts. Second class is Anthoceratopsida or hornworts. That was not given in your NCERT book. Okay, but when you take up degree or should go for higher study of plants, you'll be studying about that. So third part is Bryopsida. Example, Bryopsida is commonly called as mosses. Example is the Funaria, Sphagnum, the Polytrichum, okay, the Polytrichum. So they are all the different types of bryophytes that you have noticed. So there are three classes of bryophytes as per Rothmeller: Hepaticopsida, Anthoceratopsida, Bryopsida. Hepaticopsida is also called as liverwort, Anthoceratopsida is called as hornwort, and Bryopsida is called as mosses. So these are the three classes that Rothmeller has divided the bryophytes into. So Tulsen, we had given him for the lichens were first discovered by Tulsen. We had told about Ivanovsky discovered viruses. Professor Iyengar, O.P. Iyengar is the father of algology or phycology. Okay. 40th question. Which sentence is true for bryophytes? They have given here four sentences. So they are autotrophic. Vascular tissues are absent. So fertilization takes place in the presence of water. So they are autotrophic is they can synthesize their own food. Vascular tissues are absent. That is also correct statement. Fertilization takes place in the presence of water. So 40th, all the three statements are correct. All the three statements are correct. In which plant gametophytic phase is main and sporophytic phase is subsidiary? You should tell me in which plant do you find this gametophytic phase is main and sporophytic phase is subsidiary? Which plants exhibits that? They have given four: bryophytes,
Bryophyte.
pteridophytes. Very good. So in bryophytes, the gametophyte is independent and dominant phase, whereas the sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte and they are recessive stage. So sporophyte is dependent on gametophyte. So gametophytic generation is dominant in case of bryophytes, whereas in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, sporophyte is dominant and the uh, gametophyte is reduced stage. The first land plant on earth was bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. So which might have been the first land plant on earth?
Pteridophytes.
Yes, the first terrestrial plants they are talking about. So pteridophytes. So the amphibians of plant kingdom is bryophytes. The first land plant on earth was pteridophytes. Okay. So bryophytes are also there, but they are called as amphibians of plant kingdom. First vascular plants, if you say, so pteridophytes. Okay. Match the following. So nephrolepis. So nephrolepis, it's a fern. Nephrolepis is the scientific name of a fern. Okay. Equisetum, it is also a fern, horsetail fern. Selaginella, heterosporous seed habit. So heterosporous. Okay. Rhinia. Rhinia is a fossil. So nephrolepis, it is homosporous. So we have to identify the correct type of it. So 43rd. So the choices for these are A is the right answer. So nephrolepis is common fern. So equisetum is Q is 3 homosporous. Selaginella is heterosporous. Rhinia is the fossil form. Yes is 2. In which plant the gametophytic phase is main and sporophytic phase is subsidiary? So you have been given examples: Nephrolepis, Selaginella, Anthoceros, Equisetum. In which plant do you notice this? In which plant the gametophytic phase is main and sporophytic phase is subsidiary? So you have to look into the example. So you should search for fern, sorry, the bryophyte. See, Nephrolepis is a fern, Selaginella is a fern, Equisetum is a pteridophyte, Anthoceros, hornwort. If you remember, this is the plant in which gametophytic is main. So they might give you the examples that you have from NCERT and ask you to find out which has dominant gametophytic phase, whether it is Funaria or Selaginella or Equisetum or Teres. So then you have to write it as Funaria has this gametophytic phase or Sphagnum has it gametophytic phase. The tallest living tree in the world is, which is the tallest living tree in the world?
Option D.
Very true. Option D. Sequoia species. See, Zamia species is the smallest gymnosperm. What is Zamia? Smallest gymnosperm. Eucalyptus is the largest angiosperm. Eucalyptus is the largest angiosperm. Smallest flowering plant is Wolfia. Okay, so these are special things that you should remember about them. The smallest gymnosperm is, now you should be able to answer it. Which is the smallest gymnosperm?
Option A.
Zamia species is the smallest gymnosperm. So xerophytic characters, that is characters like they should be able to conserve water. Xerophytic characters are present in bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Which of them have this xerophytic characters. Gymnosperms have this xerophytic characters. So if you have seen, the pinus leaf is reduced to form needle-like. Okay, so this they try to conserve water. So xerophytic characters are present in gymnosperms. So 48 microsporophyll, we call it as stamen. Then megasporophyll, what should we call it as? Should we call it as anther, or should we call it as gynoecium, or should we call it as pollen grain or ovule? So the answer
Gynoecium.
is gynoecium. So megasporophyll should be called as gynoecium. So 48, B is the answer. Match the following: microsporophyll, stamen; microsporangium, anther; microspores, pollen grain; megasporophyll, gynoecium. So which is the answer for this? Microsporophyll, stamen. So P2, then Q3. So P2, Q3, R1, yes, 4. So this is the right answer. D is the answer. Which is the fossil member? Cycas, Benetitis, Thuja, Pinus. So fossil member is Benetitis, but these are all, Cycas is a living fossil, but it's not a fossil member. So 50th, the answer is B, Benetitis. The biggest and dominant group is among this four, which is the biggest and dominant group?
Pteridophyte.
Angios, the biggest and dominant group is angiosperms. Angiosperms has maximum diversity of species. Today, the entire world is filled with angiosperms. Very few pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and very few bryophytes are there. Okay, so predominant plants that we notice at present is angiosperms. So the biggest and dominant group is angiosperms. Match the following. So this sort of question, general knowledge, you should be prepared for. Wolfia globosa, smallest plant. Eucalyptus, so largest plant. Rafflesia arnoldi, largest flower. Okay, agave species, largest inflorescence. So Wolfia globosa, smallest plant, P3. Then Q1, P3, Q1, R2, yes, 4. So D is the answer for 52nd. Okay. So pre-fertilized endosperm is characteristic of. So which is the pre-fertilized endosperm characteristic of? Is it pteridophytes, angiosperms, gymnosperms, or bryophytes? That is, endosperm is fertilized. Pre-fertilized endosperm is characteristic of which group of plants? C. Gymnosperms. They are already fertilized. The pre-fertilized endosperm is characteristic of gymnosperms. Angiosperms, the fertilization happens during double fertilization. Endosperm is formed during that process. So pre-fertilized endosperm is characteristic feature of gymnosperms. So 53rd, the answer is C. 54th, class dicotyledon is divided into how many subclasses? So this might not be required. Anyway, for general knowledge, I'll be just telling you the answer is C. uh, three subclasses. Class dicotyledon is divided into three subclasses. Who classified the angiosperms into two classes? Theophrastus, Bentham and Hooker, Aristotle, Linnaeus. Who classified angiosperms into two classes? So Bentham and Hooker classified angiosperms into two classes, class monocotyledonate, class dicotyledonate. So since we have not studied that Bentham and Hooker classification, not required. Anyway, 56th, presence of rigid cell wall is characterized by kingdom, Protista, Plantae, Monera, Animalia. In which of them they have a rigid cell wall? So Protista, Plantae, cell wall itself is found. It's not found in animals. It's not found in protistans. So Plantae or Monera should be the answer. So 56th, the answer is Monera. Presence of rigid cell wall is characterized by the kingdom Monera, which has bacteria, blue-green algae, and mycoplasma. Okay. So I was just discussing about see the seeds are formed from the megasporophylls and not enclosed in a fruit. The plant belongs to gymnosperm. So 58, the answer is D. 59th, embryo is not formed in. So embryo is not formed in bryophytes, algae, gymnosperms, pteridophytes. Where is the embryo not formed in?
Gymnosperms.
So it is algae. Algae does not have any embryo formed. So gymnosperms also there will be an embryo formed. Seed means they will be having an embryo. The zygote develops to form the embryo. Okay, algae there is no formation of embryo. Okay, which classification system has been given by Whitaker? You should be knowing this. It is quite easy.
Five kingdom
Five kingdom.
classification.
Yes, five kingdom classification was given by Robert Whitaker. So 60th C is the answer. 61st. Lichen show symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. That is the assertion. Reason, algae absorb water and mineral nutrients from environment and provide to fungi, while fungi synthesize food by the process of photosynthesis and provide to algae. So here you have to find whether both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So 61st, the C is the correct one. A is true statement, but R is false. So lichen shows symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Algae absorb water and mineral nutrients from environment and provide to fungi, while fungi synthesize food by the process of photosynthesis is a wrong statement. It should be the otherwise, vice versa. So that is why reason is wrong. Assertion is true. Okay. C is the answer. Assertion is true statement, but R is false. Okay, so that completes our discussion on the MCQs of